Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, at least we can hear one. We'll get there, we'll get there.
Okay, now. Can you hear me better?
Better.
Better? Okay, my name is Claudia. I'm from AgroCluster. AgroCluster is a cluster of Portugal. The main goal is to support the companies of agri-food sector to implement their exportation. Okay, and so this is the kind of event, Terroir Alentejo. It's one event that we normally do it now on the virtual mode, but we do that kind of event to support them in exportation. So here we have today some examples of products of their companies of the Alentejo region, and we have today one of the most famous and prestigious chefs, Kiko Martins, that will gonna cook for us some dishes with this beautiful product. Okay, thank you very much. Hope you enjoy.
Hi guys, can you hear me?
Oh, yes.
Everybody can hear me. Okay, I'm with these headphones, so I can be answering questions during the time that I'll be cooking, and we'll more than show cooking. This can be like answering, and we'll be cooking together. If I plan a couple of dishes, but if you want to change the order, or if you want to do, chef, can we do like this, or can we do like this? I'm here to help you. During the next hour, I'm going to be speaking about this region, this beautiful setup, as we were referring before, that's called Alentejo. It's one of the most beautiful places in Portugal. It's in the south of Portugal. We have Algarve in the bottom of Portugal, and then we have Alentejo with all these beautiful products, from rice to wine to cheeses and to a lot of chorizos and this kind of sausages, blood sausage and different things. I'm trying to do very, very easy things, very, very simple recipes, so you guys can do in your shop or in your restaurants, and to speak with the people that you are going to try to sell the products. But mainly, anything you want to change, anything you want to, chef, can I change this, for instance, farinheira, that is kind of like too heavy or too intense of flavor, with a chorizo? Yes, I will answer to all your questions, okay? I'm going to start by cooking one or two dishes for like tapas, okay? Tapas style, like to put things in the table, and then we can grab and share the meal. And after that, the tapas, I will do a rice with all these beautiful products. It's called enchidos, that we have farinheira, we have chouriço de carne, we have this kind of Portuguese bacon that is much better than Italian bacon. We have this chouriço, like a boudin noir, the French use, like the blood sausages. And I will do a rice with that. And then I will use these beautiful carrots, and I will cook with this lovely late harvest from Portugal, from this region. So first of all, let's cook with eggs. Eggs is one of the most simple things. So the first thing I'm going to use is farinheira. Okay, farinheira is probably one of the most well-known enchidos that we have in Portugal. Maybe you guys don't know, but most of our cultural gastronomic traditions, they came from the times that we passed by around the world. So a lot of spices that we have in our gastronomy, like cumin, like saffron, they came originally from the time that we were traveling around the world in the 15th century. And this product, it's made with bread, white wine, and some cumin, okay? So what I'm going to do is one of the most traditional Portuguese starters that is called ovos mexidos com farinheira. So first of all, I will open the farinheira. I'm not going to use the whole farinheira. The good thing about these products is that you can use just half or a quarter, and then you can keep this in the fridge, okay? What will do? What should I do if I'm going to keep this product? I will put like some paper, and then just put it in the fridge, and it can rest like for 3 or 4 months in the fridge easily, no problem. Okay, first of all, I'm going to take the skin of the farinheira, very, very thin skin that I'm not going to use, okay? And this kind of product, it's like very, the way it breaks, it's very easy, okay? So I don't need to grab a knife and to break it, okay? But it mainly breaks with your hand. So I'm going to start like putting a little bit of farinheira in a pan. The pan is in medium heat, okay? I'm going to put the farinheira in like big chunks of farinheira. Okay, one more. Okay, because mainly this product is made with bread. Okay, bread and the fat of the pork. So there is no meat actually here. It's just the fat from the pork, white wine, bread, and some cumin. Okay, I'm going to a little bit higher, and I put some beautiful olive oil from this region. Okay, let me put a little bit of olive oil. I love this olive oil. Normally I say the better olive oil you use and the better wine you use, the better result will be in your product, okay? So let me start pushing a little bit higher. And I'm going to start with the eggs. I have a lot of eggs here, so let's break the eggs. Okay, 1. Okay. 2. 3. I'm going to use 4 eggs for this quantity of half a farinheira, okay? A farinheira, it's around 280 grams, 300 grams. So I'm using around 150 grams of farinheira. Okay, let me see. This doesn't look, it's working. So we have to be very patient when we are working with the induction. I'm normally not a very patient chef. Maybe it is here. Technology. So we go down and then, okay, we have energy. Okay, so let's put just a little bit of salt in the eggs. I'm using flor de sal. That's kind of the sea salt, like Maldon salt, the first grains of salt that came on the top. And I'm going to, with a fork, I'm just going to beat the eggs. Okay, very, very fast. Just beating the eggs.
Induktion.
Okay, I have my beautiful, I don't know if you can see the color of these eggs. They're like, can you see the color? Like this is the eggs from the farm that I'm cooking right now. They're like really, really beautiful. Super, super white, super yellow. Okay. So the farinheira, it's starting to cook a little bit. Okay. The bread is starting to dissolve. Okay. Let me see if it's better here. Okay. Let's go. So while this is heating, it's slowly heating, I want to show you something that I love it. So no technology, you just need something like this, a little bit of alcohol and some chorizo. So I'm going to put this here. I'm going to put some alcohol here. And this is one of the coolest things to have in a table or at home or in a restaurant. So let me grab a chorizo. This is super good chorizo. This is made with pork also, but it's different color. Has no white wine, no cumin, just a chorizo. What I'm going to do with the chorizo, I'm going to slightly cut a little bit on the top, okay? Make some slices of chorizo. I'm not going deep in the chorizo, okay? What I did is from this part, it's not cut, but from here, it's cut. So you can serve this in a table. You can put this in a table, and you can just, let me light up with a, okay? And then it starts to flame, and then you put the chorizo, okay? And by the time that you are in the table and you are cooking and talking with people and sharing a moment, the chorizo is slowly cooking. slowly cooking here. So this is a super funny way of eating chorizo. Now, normally what we did this, not normally how we cook this in Portugal, we put this in the middle of the table. And by the time that we are sharing, we eat normally, we cut out and then we slice a little bit the chorizo and we eat with a little bit of bread. So, okay, we have energy here. That's good. So the farinheira, it's cooking and it's getting crispy and crunchy. So you see the amount of fat that is coming out of the farinheira. I don't know if you can see it, but it's a lot of fat, a lot of grass. This grass is super delicious because what is coming out of here is normally the grass, it's the fatness of the pork, but also the white wine flavor, everything. So at the same time, I'm looking at my chorizo. Okay, here, it's cooking. Okay, I'll put it in the other side. Okay, let me grab a little board that I can put some sliced bread to eat with the chorizo. We have a bread. You can hear the chorizo cooking and also the farinheira. Okay, see the amount of grass that is coming out? Okay, I'm letting it cook. So the only thing that I'm going to do with ovos mexidos com farinheira is to add the eggs. But this is super important the way I want to add the eggs, because if I add the eggs and I cook it too much, I'm going to do like a dry scrambled eggs, horrible. So let's finish the chorizo first, and then I just go with the eggs in 1 minute. Okay, look at the chorizo. It's almost cooked. And normally, the amount of alcohol you put here should be the amount of alcohol that the chorizo needs to cook. So when the flame is going down is the time that you see that the chorizo is already cooked, okay? So normally, the amount of alcohol I put was like a little thing of coffee, like a little, what is the name? Sorry. Huh? Yeah, exactly. Okay, so it's almost going down. I will change the chorizo again.
Kiko, there is a question here. Someone is asking how much percent of the alcohol, what type of alcohol is it? And they
This
say
is 96% of alcohol. Okay, it's the alcohol that you bought in that you buy in a pharmacy. Okay, okay, so it's going down. Okay, it's almost disappearing. If you say to me, I don't want to cook this with the chorizo, can I cook this with the farinheira? No. The farinheira has too much fat. Okay, so don't put farinheira, but you can use any other type of chorizos here. Okay, you can use from the blood sausages one. You can use this bigger one, so you just have to slice a little bit deeper. But normally, the only one that you should not use in these kind of things is farinheira, because farinheira, as you can see, look at the amount of fat we have here. Maybe I'll show to you. I'm going to do something that is not proper, but just for you to have an idea. I'm going to put this in a glass of wine, just so you can have the idea of fat that is coming out of here. Of course, no one is going to drink this at 10 o'clock in the morning, but the flavor here, it's super delicious. You have white wine, you have the pork fat, and you have some cumin, so cumin. So this is delicious. So let's go. I have the chorizo. I'm going to take out the chorizo, and I could serve exactly like this with a piece of bread, and I can put some, of course, some olive oil in the bread or something like that. Okay, this is super easy and super funny to do, because when you have something like this, you see the amount of alcohol all gone away. So as I was referring to you before, I have the farinheira that I was toasting, and then this is in number 5. So let's go a little bit down, and I'm going to put the eggs. Okay, And the way I'm going to do this, it's out of the heat. Okay, I'm going to put this here, and I'm going to, let me keep on this. I can do it here, and I'm going to start scrambling. Super fast. I don't want to cook this too much, and I'm going to, of course, I want to use all this flavor here. Okay, see, it's already done. Okay, not too cooked, just slowly cooked. I don't know if you can see the beauty of these eggs and the color. Can you see it? Just, can you? Yeah, no. I'm not hearing anybody speaking with me. Huh?
Yes.
Ah, okay. So nobody was speaking, so I was afraid that you guys were not listening to me. So
You are
normally,
speaking all the time.
Nice color, yes.
thank you very much. So what I have here is that how should we serve this the same way? In Portugal, we have this crazy bread culture, so just slice some bread. You have two options to serve this. Or you can heat a little pan and put a little bit of olive oil, and then we can toast the bread and then pass a little bit of garlic. Okay, so I'm going to toast the bread, slightly toasting the bread, a little bit more. Okay, let me do this a little bit stronger. Perfect. And I'll toast the bread, and I have some garlic over here. So I'll pass when the bread it's likely roasted. I will pass let me just clean this one very super fast. Okay. No more questions until now. Yeah? No questions?
I have a question. What else would you use that table grill for? Because everybody finds these the plate there really, really very cool. What else would you put on that?
The funny thing is that you can mix both. Like imagine I have here some spring onions. Let's do this together. Good idea. I never done this before, so it might not work, but it might work. So let's put over here. And I have some spring onions here. And then I'm going to add some alcohol. Okay. And I have here. And let's go. And let's roast some vegetables over here. Let's try. I never done this, so I love challenging. So let's go. So I'm going to roast over here. I think we can do both, and then we can maybe put the roast vegetables on the top of the chorizo, or even here. It will be cool. Okay, so the bread.
Another question. With which kind of olive oil are you cooking today?
I'm using an extra virgin olive oil, so very delicate. I'm normally, people say, so whenever you use an extra virgin olive oil, you should only put like when it's raw, but I love to cook with extra virgin olive oil, okay? I don't like this kind of olive oils with a lot of flavor. Normally we have two types of olive oils in Portugal, the ones from the north, from Trás-os-Montes, and the ones from the south, okay? That's where we are, Alentejo. Okay, so let's keep on roasting. Let me see if I have some other vegetable here. Okay, I have these beautiful small courgettes too. I'm going to put them here. So the bread, it's toasting. I'm changing the bread side. Okay. So a little bit of more olive oil on the bread. Okay, let's keep on roasting. Okay, what I can do right now, I can roast a little bit, and then I can like slightly chop. And I can put on the eggs. It will not be totally 100% Portuguese, but for sure it will be flavor and nice. Okay, let's keep on roasting the baby zucchinis. The spring onions, they cook super fast. So just like slightly roast and then put a little bit on the top of the eggs. Will give a nice flavor. What I like to do normally when I'm cooking Portuguese flavors, I normally like to finish with a little bit of olive oil always. Okay? Not to waste anything, and I'm crazy about wasting. I hate when people waste food. We have a little bit of this fat, so I can put over here. And even in the bread, I can pass the fat in the bread. So it will even give more flavor to the bread. Okay? But no waste. Okay. Just this comes over here. And the zucchinis, they are not cooked yet. So I will just add a little bit of more alcohol. Okay. And again, let me light up. Okay, so as I was looking at the zucchini, I just realized that I can do something different over here. Let's just make a fried egg. Okay, let me turn this on. So I have my roast bread. I can put over here. Just like beautiful slices of bread. Okay, I'm going to keep 2 slices just to do something with cheese, because when we are talking about Portugal, we cannot skip cheese. Okay, cheese is like part of our identity. Okay, so let's keep on roasting the zucchinis. And normally, when you fry an egg, the first thing you do, you put some olive oil, butter, or whatever, and then you fry the egg in that fat. So the good thing about these products is the fat that these products they have. So I'm going to take a little, it can be also a farinheira. Let's keep with the farinheira. And then I'm going to use the fat of the farinheira to actually fry an egg. Okay, so let's just chop. The first thing I didn't chop, but now I'm chopping very, very, very fine. And okay, just going to put again the farinheira, slightly cooking. Okay, the garlic here. Let's clean this board. And it's perfect. So the zucchinis, okay, they are starting. Yeah, look at this. It works. They are soft. Okay, let's keep them here. And let's see what we are going to do. So I'm using, again, the same technique of taking out the fat from the farinheira, okay? So I'm cooking it slowly. The farinheira is slowly roasting. Okay.
There's another interesting question here. What kind of bread would you use? Would you use a broa as the bread that you're frying?
If you have the Portuguese broa, it's amazing, okay? Because it's like cornbread. You have all this bread that has much more intensity and much more more compact. So it's super nice. But I'm using actually a homemade fermentation bread with a simple. How can I say this? It's made with massa mãe. I don't know if someone has the translation for this. Massa mãe, anybody knows what it is?
I will try to translate. Just a second.
Okay, okay. Okay, just not to lose. So again, I take out the fat from the farinheira, and I'm not going to put olive oil. I'm not going to put anything. I'm just going to put the egg. Okay. So here. Okay. Be very, very cautious about the amount of salt you use when you are cooking with farinheira or chorizo, because these products, they have some salt on it, so don't oversalt oversalt the food. Okay? So I'm frying this egg with a farinheira.
So the German name, I think, would be Mutterteig. So like mother dough or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Mutterteig.
Mutterteig.
Yeah, für Sauerteig.
Okay, so I'm going to open the zucchinis. Okay, and okay, I have my egg. I could put the bread, of course. And I'm just going to use one. Okay, so the egg is fried, and I'm going to do like the egg on the top of the bread. Okay. And with the zucchini that we were cooking before, okay, I will just like slightly put the roast zucchini. Okay. Of course, I could add some parsley or some salsa, parsley. Yeah, let me just, maybe I can chop a little bit. Okay, I can add over here. Huh? Okay, so very simple things, just two ingredients, the egg and the farinheira and the zucchini that you were pushing me to cook here, okay? So we have three starters. Oh, let me do one more. I'm just thinking about the way in Portugal we love cheese. So the same thing, just roast a little bit of bread. And this is not a Portuguese combination, but it's something that works very, very well. And this amazing cheese, this goat cheese, it's already sliced. So what we can do, this is super easy, is just to grab a slice of cheese. They're already cut. It's even easier. And what I'm going to do, I will just take out, not to waste this beautiful fat from here. And I'm going to put the bread, the slice of cheese. Maybe I'll take out. Normally I have a kind of thing. Whenever the skin has color, so this skin has color, I don't use the skin. If the skin was white, like a cheese like this, I will eat everything. Okay. Normally, this is the way I think about cheese. So I'll take a little bit of that part, and I'm going to add the cheese. Use this. I don't know if they were the French or even the Germans that they invented the combination that cheese and something sweet that works amazing. So I have this pumpkin that is beautiful from Sabores do Campo, and I'm going to add just a little bit of this on the top of the cheese. Okay. It's like a small bruschetta. This is something super easy that you guys can do in a shop or in everything. Doesn't need too much cooking. It's super easy. And you have a goat cheese and you have a little bit of the sweet from the pumpkin and the sugar. It's super, super easy. So it passed like 15 minutes, I don't know. And we already have like 4 very, very simple things. So let me start cooking something that in Portugal, we love it. That's called rice. So we can say that the Asians, they eat a lot of rice, as you guys know. I think that in average, an Asian eats around 80 kilos of rice per year. A German, they eat around 3 kilos of rice per year. And in Portugal, we eat around 20 kilos of rice per year. So a lot of people call us the Asians of Europe. And as you guys know, we have the best football player in the world that is called Ronaldo. And they made this amazing rice with the name of Ronaldo. So I'm going to do like a risotto style rice with this rice from Ronaldo. So the most important thing in the rice is the stock. So how are we going to put flavor in the stock? So all these products, okay? So I have farinheira, I'm going to cook inside. I have some chorizo. This is the same chorizo that I cooked over there. So I'm just going to slice the chorizo a little bit, okay? And I'm going to put inside this water. Let's hope this is really hot. Okay. So I'll put a lid, so better. I have this other chorizo. Okay. This is a bigger one. This chorizo, it even works in a very simple way that's called just like slice, very thin. Let me slice a little for you so you guys can see. I love to do this at home whenever I invite some friends. So what I do, I slice the chorizo very, very thin, and then I just put the chorizo on the plate. Okay. And then what I would do, I will add a little bit of olive oil just to make it a little bit different. And I'll put some herbs on the top. So by this way, it's simple, but it's not that simple. Okay, you can. Okay. And normally, when you guys are eating tapas, the best thing to see, it's a big table with a lot of things. So the much more things you see, so probably the happiest you are going to get. So as I was referring to you, let me add a little bit of chorizo. Okay. To take out more flavor, I always slice, okay, because I want that happens osmosis. The water will get the flavor from the chorizo. So more chorizo. And I think I have some different, I have these two beautiful chorizos, the Murcela, the black one, and as I was referring to you before, the Portuguese bacon. Okay. So the Murcela, I'm going to cut like slices like this. Okay, let me put over here. And then let me put a little bit of this bacon. If you want to get more flavor from the chorizos, you should like just toast a little bit. But the only thing that I'm doing right now, I want to pass the flavors to the water. Okay, that's the thing that I'm doing right now. So there is a skin over here. I'm going to put everything. Just going to slightly, like a little bit. Okay, inside. Okay, so this is done. This I'll use it. So what else can we put inside the water so it has more flavor? So let's put some garlic. Okay, garlic. I'm just going to put with the skin, with everything, just like do like this. Okay. Let's put half onion, also with the skin. Okay, no problem to use the skin. I'm doing a stock, so it doesn't really matter if the skin is there or not. Okay, so I'll put everything over here. And Rose, this technology helps me, and this works because it is normally I like flame to cook with flame. So over here, I'm going to start doing the rice. Okay, so we have the stock doing. Let's grab a pan and let's start with the rice. So everything in Portugal, we do with two things, onions and garlic. Okay, every single dish in Portugal, we start like this. And something very important, olive oil. So I'll put the olive oil. Okay. this I'll put over here. It will help me. And let me just take out the skin from this garlic. A lot of people normally say that we cannot eat garlic because garlic gives you like bad hálito. Okay, so the only thing bad in the garlic, it's this germ inside. Okay, so whenever I'm cooking with garlic and I'm cooking for people that I like, I normally take out this part of the interior of the garlic. So this is the part that gives you the bad hálito. So everything else doesn't give you. So let's take the interior. Okay, this we don't use it. Okay, a little bit. Okay, so we go with the garlic and the onions. Okay, just like slightly chopping the onions. Okay. Okay, and the onions we are just going to easily chop. Okay. Slowly, but we'll get there. Okay. Let me see if I hear the noise. Okay, it's working. Okay, so I'm going to cook for 1.5 minutes the onions and the garlic. Okay. Put a little bit of salt. Now I'm going to start preparing to put the rice. Whenever I put the rice, this is my mother that I think first. Yeah, that's true. I was thinking that the first people I saw doing this is my mother. Whenever she puts the rice, she always fries the rice a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to put the rice, and I'm going to fry the rice. Okay. Okay, I'm frying the rice.
And how much rice did you put in there?
Oh, honestly, these have 250 grams. I'm putting maybe half. I'm putting like around 100 grams. Okay. And the way I want this rice, it's like very smooth, very soft, very like creamy, like more or less like a soup. Okay, it's not like a thick rice or a Thai rice. It's more like a soup, more or less like that. I think that's the best way to describe. So be light with the salt, okay, because there will be a lot of flavors coming from here. You have all the chorizos, the onions, the garlic, and this water has a lot of flavors. So, like the Italians, they do with the risotto, I'm going to put some white wine, okay, to refresh. Normally, the parsley, we have two types of, you have this beautiful part on the top, okay. That's normally something that you put in the end in the cooking. And I see many people throwing away all this in the kitchen. That is something that annoys me a lot. So we have a lot of flavor here. So what we can do is in the beginning of the rice, we can use a little bit of the trimmings from the parsley. Okay, if we chop them very well, we can easily use this.
We have a question. Is that the Carolina rice?
Yeah, exactly. Beautiful. Exactly. That's the Carolino. We have two types normally in Portugal, the Carolino and the agulha. Okay. I'm doing this with Carolino. It's like, how can I say, and I show to you. This will be difficult, but let me see if I can do it. So the grain it's a little bit like sushi rice. Okay, it's a little bit fat and more round. So it's a little bit like arborio, like a risotto rice, more or less. Okay. Okay. So whenever you cook with rice, whenever you cook with wine, the most important thing is that you let the wine evaporate. So right now, I'm like feeling intoxicated by the white wine. So I know the time that I should start adding the stock is when this smell of white wine disappear. Okay, so it's slightly getting to disappear. And okay, so the stock is getting there. To get a better flavor from here, I should start with the stock, okay? The more the stock cooks, the better flavor the water will have to cook the rice, okay? Right now, the water needs to cook more, but we need to keep on going with the show. So I'm going to start adding the stock, little by little. Okay, okay, and I will mix like as a risotto. Okay. I'll leave it here. This keep on cooking, and we have the rice. While the rice is cooking, I'm going to try to cook, if this works, over here. Let me see.
Chef Kiko, someone is saying that the chef also needs some wine. Is that true?
Always, but maybe it's 10 o'clock in the morning. Let me, if I need the, I didn't understand. It was a joke or I don't get it. Sorry.
It was German joke.
Okay, okay. I need, but honestly, I'm not like feeling super good today. So again, the same thing. I'm going to put some carrots over here. Let me just trim a little bit of these carrots because we have a lot of. Okay. So the rice is cooking slowly. Okay. I'm going to add some olive oil here. So I'm not cleaning the pan, just to have an idea. What I did here before was the farinheira. I'm just going to put a little bit of olive oil. Okay. And I'm going to add the carrots. Okay. And I'm going to add two beautiful things right now that I love. Okay. Normally, we don't cook a lot with this late harvest. But whenever you combine late harvest, honey, and this blood sausage, this is a great combination. So I'm going to finally slice the blood sausage. Okay. And hope this starts heating up. Yeah, let's hope so. Okay, let's add some more stock to the rice. I have an idea. I'll put this here. And this is cooking faster. So the same thing as I did before, I put the blood sausage and the carrots. The carrots are raw, okay? So by the time that the blood sausage will start cooking, I'm going to add a little bit of this wine and then in the end, honey, okay? More questions, more questions.
And those carrots, were they peeled or were they?
No,
Okay.
You can peel a carrot, but honestly, these baby carrots are like.
I peel that. You've got nothing
like,
there.
Yeah, but you can peel them. But it's just like a. I normally, if it's super fine, super light skin, okay. So let me just put a little bit of salt, not too much, because of the salt that is already in the blood sausage. the rice is cooking. More slow than I wanted. Okay, by the time this is cooking, I'm just going to show you some things that I like to do whenever I finish this rice. So let me take out a little bit of this bacon. Okay. So I have bacon here. Let me take out the same amount of chorizo as I did in bacon. And this other chorizo. Okay, and what I'm doing right now is that I will slice very, very fine. You can take out this little skin here. Okay.
And the chorizo that you're using, are they the hot and spicy ones?
No, these are no one of these are spicy.
Okay.
But you can for sure you can put a little spicy in one of those. Okay, I'm just slicing very thin. That I want to saute all this and then put in the top of the rice, so it gets some crunchiness. Okay.
Ah, okay.
Okay, so okay, it's cooking because I cannot hear. Okay, so let's put in a pan. Let's add some olive oil and let's try to see if it's going to cook. Okay, so the carrots are cooking. Slightly roasting the morcella, and I'm going to add the wine. By the time I'll add the wine, I'll put a little bit of honey. Just a little bit. More or less like a tablespoon. The quantities here, we are talking about more or less 150 grams of morcella, 1 tablespoon of honey, and around 200 grams of carrots. A little bit of olive oil. Okay, so it's cooking right now. What I can do also here is to put a little bit of the stock. Okay, this stock is getting more flavor. By the time it's cooking more and more, it's getting more and more flavor. So I can take a little bit of the stock and cook here. Let me put this. A good idea. Normally, the tradition about Portuguese cuisine is that we always use everything that we have. And mostly our culture is made with bread. And whenever we have a stock like this or a soup like this, what we will do is to put some bread inside and to break an egg and to eat like that. It is like a way of eating like or not throwing away a stock. Okay, so our rice in 5 minutes it will be cooked. The carrots will be finished more or less in 5 minutes too. I can start preparing the last details. I think I haven't spoke yet about the marvelous cheeses that we have here. So this is a cheese that's called trincho. It's like a very heavy, very strong, like super difficult to cut, that I'm going to try to take out a little part. It's like a Parmesan cheese that we have here in Portugal. So if you have a grinder, you can grind it in the end and put in the rice, but I don't have a grinder here. So what I'm doing is the same thing as I told you before. I'm taking out the skin. Okay. Let me take out.
What was the name of the cheese?
Trincho.
Trincho. Trincho.
Trincho. Yeah.
All right.
It's delicious. It's like, honestly, it's better than how can I say this? It's much more intense, much more complex than a typical Parmigiano.
I hope something is in the parcel I didn't get until now.
In the pasta?
The parcel.
In the packet coming, packet, you know, parcel.
I hope so too.
Yeah, me.
What you can do with this cheese is just like use it like a Parmesan. Okay, it's you'll love it. Okay.
I never heard of it.
Even in Portugal, it's not something super well known. Okay, if I talk to my wife, she will not know what is this. Trincho, yeah. Okay, so I have the cheese here. Let me put the cheese over here because I want to add the cheese in the end of the rice. Okay. The skins I'm not using. As I was referring, I'm going to use the best part of the parsley, okay. But I want to chop them really, really well. Okay, so I have the parsley here. Let's see how the rice is going. Okay, I think we need a little bit more for the rice. What my mother would do is to do like this. She go inside the stock and she will take a chorizo, for instance, and then she will just put over here, and then she will add a little bit of this chorizo inside the rice. Okay, let me take out other one. Okay. I'm going to add a little bit of each one inside the rice. Like these big chunks over here. And this part over here, it's more or less cooked, okay? But it's the part that I want to put on the top to give like some crunchiness. Okay, let's see how our onions, how our carrots are. Beautiful combination. Let me put over here now. So the carrots are done with the morcella. Okay, so I have here the carrots with the morcella, the honey, and a little bit of the Portuguese late harvest. Okay. Okay, the rice is almost there. Let me try the rice. A little bit more salt. Okay. Okay, so let's cover it. Okay, so just go a little bit back. Back. So what we did in the first thing was like we cooked the Portuguese sausage inside this beautiful thing with the alcohol, where we also cook the baby's zucchinis and the baby spring onions. We did a scrambled egg with farinheira. If you want to do a scrambled egg with chorizo, we can do a scrambled egg with chorizo. If you want to do a scrambled egg with morcella, you can do a scrambled egg with morcella. It's also the same technique. You always put the chorizo first, you take out the grass, everything that inside, and then in the end, you put the eggs beaten, and then you cook outside of the stove, so it doesn't get like too dry. Even now, if you look at them, they are not too dry. And then we fry just a simple egg with farinheira. We did some like bruschetta, or in Portugal we call turricado, with some beautiful cheese and some pumpkin sweet on the top. I just sliced some chorizo. You can like slice some chorizo, a little bit of olive oil and herbs. And then I did some morcella with baby carrots, late harvest, and honey. And now I'm doing a rice with all the Portuguese enchidos. Okay, let's see, it's almost done. Okay. Okay, so I don't know, it's important for me that you guys can see this. So I still have some water in the rice, okay? The rice didn't absorb all the water yet, okay? So if I can show you, I don't know if you can see, but there is like a, huh? See? Okay, if you see, okay? And what I'm doing right now, I'm adding the cheese. And I'm going to let the cheese to melt, just like a simple risotto. Okay. Let the cheese melt. I'm going to add the parsley.
No, I wish talking.
And a little bit of olive oil also. If it was in my house or in my restaurant, what I would do is I will turn this off and I'll just put a lid and I will wait around 5 minutes to serve it. Okay, it has to settle down and then you serve it. Okay, because in this time it's not going to be cooking, but we'll keep on absorbing a little bit of the water. Okay, so I'm taking out. I can turn this off. Okay, I'll grab a plate and imagine that it passed around 5 minutes and now I will serve it. Okay, so you can also serve like with a soup. I don't have it here, but I have this here. Okay. So I don't know if you guys can see. Okay, it's like a rice, very, very yummy with a lot of like water. And it's, I just put, to give some crunchiness, the chorizo that I saute in the end. And if it was for me, I would do something like this to serve it. I will add egg yolk on the top. Okay, and if you serve like this is beautiful. Okay, very, very simple. Just rice chorizo with the egg on the top, and of course some salt and some olive oil. You can serve this kind of rice as a garnisher to a dish. Meat, even fish, a rice like this is super delicious. Okay, I don't know if you guys have more questions.
I have a question. I seem to have missed the bit about the pumpkin. When did you put the pumpkin somewhere?
The where, sorry?
Pumpkin. You mentioned pumpkin?
Yes, I put the pumpkin here on the top of the cheese. It's a pumpkin compota.
Ah, okay.
Jam, like a jam.
Ah, okay. All clear.
Do you have guys have any doubt, anything that you want to see me using? More or less. I'm not.
Thank you, great.
Huh?
Yeah, if you could tell us, I know that some people have only just, I've only just received their packages this morning, but it would be lovely to hear how, you know, if there was something in there that you found surprising or interesting in particular, please let us know.
So you received all these packages, yeah? With some products from here.
Some, yes, there was a, everybody got.
Okay, so if you can do this, it's just like all these products, you can try them raw or, okay, so slice them and eat a little bit, okay? And just put in the saute and just toast to see the difference of flavor, okay? And then start mixing with a little bit of egg, mixing with a little bit of bread, okay? Try to do a stock. Every single part of the chorizo, everything, put inside a big pan with water and then let it cook for like 2-3 hours. The more time you cook, the less flavor this water will have. And from this water, you can do everything. You can do a pasta with this water. You can cook a pasta here, and then you can put some cheese like trincho in the end, okay? This blood one that is called Murcella, for me, it's delicious whenever you combine with pumpkin. Okay, there is something very traditional. So I try to put some honey here and some late harvest to give these sweet flavors that normally Murcella needs. But just grab a piece of bread. You can just grab a simple piece of bread, put a little bit of the Murcella, and then on the top, you'll put this pumpkin and nuts jam that I love it. So even like this, it's beautiful, okay? You can serve something like this, and it's amazing, super easy to do, and super simple. All these products, they are not difficult to cook. Most of them are what you see is what you get. It's like a chorizo or a cheese or a wine or a rice. Speaking about the rice, all the rices that you are going to receive, try to cook like this, okay? So cook, make a good stock. If you are not cooking with a stock with meat, you can do a stock with fish or just vegetables, but try to cook in this slowly way. As I was referring to you before, the more I let the rice stays here, the more it absorbs the water. So now you see less water than like 5 minutes before. So it's getting better flavor and better water and more hydrated here. Okay, and what I like about this is that you have different types of textures. You have this raw one, you have the cooked one, and you have the crispy one. To get it crispy, very, very thin, and just let it like roast. So it gets like a thin and then just like a little bit crunchy. Okay. Whenever you try this, it's like yeah, it's crunchy. So it's not like a smooth. Okay.
We have a question. So in all of these recipes, you've always used olive oil. You don't use butter at all to in your risotto or anything?
When we are speaking about this region, Alentejo and Portugal, mainly what we use here is olive oil.
Okay.
But I like to do something. You did it here, but I like to mix both fats. I like to use a little bit of olive oil and a little bit of butter. But actually, if we think well, I'm using two types of fats here. I'm using olive oil, and in all these dishes, I'm using the fatness from the chorizo. So I have pork fat over here. So it's nice when you mix things. But in this kind of rice, because it's actually not a risotto, it is totally different. So it's more like it's much more watery than a risotto. It's a risotto. You'll never find the amount of water you have here.
Yeah, yeah. Great stuff. Has anybody got any questions?
Chef Kiko, someone didn't say that they have a question, but they said that you're making them very hungry. So
Okay, that's good. That's good.
right atmosphere.
Thank you very much for being here. It was challenging to to be with these headphones.
It was. I must say that it was really interesting to see the variety of dishes that you can do with you know, just a few ingredients like that, and putting things together that I would have never you know, personally thought of. So it was really interesting. Thank you ever so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
I think Claudia, is Claudia there? I think Claudia wants to say goodbye to us before we go.
Claudia, that question. I'll share this.
Okay, you finish? Yes? Okay. So thank you all for being with us in our show cooking. I just want to tell you that in your boxes you will receive a little bit of all of these products. If you haven't received, you will receive in very soon. And I will want to show you different types of wines that we will receive. You receive in your boxes the red wines, the white wines. Here we have some samples of different wines, like this one that you will not receive, but just to give you an idea of different wines, different kinds of rices too, because we have the chef Kiko used the Ronaldo, but you have also in your boxes the risotto rice, you have the aromatic, okay, the Carolino rice, okay, you receive different type of rices. You also receive tea to make some infusion that of course Chef Kiko can't do it here, but is another, and is biologic, okay. Plenty of these products that you have here is biologic products. The Portuguese companies are trying to do some products to export in biological terms. So you have only not only the jam that Chef Kiko used, but you receive another kinds of jam, tomato jam and different flavors, melon jam. You receive a vegan products, okay, that is totally new in this company. And of course, all kinds of chorizos that you receive in your boxes. All of you receive a box of chorizos. So hope you enjoy and hope you like our show cooking. Thank you again, Chef Kiko, for being with us. Okay.
Muito
So
obrigada.
if you have any question, okay.
Thank you.
I can't hear, but okay.
There is one question here. All these producers, are they experienced to export abroad, such as to Germany? Is there a central contact, or the producer should be in contact directly? So what's the follow-up for them, for the shops who are here with us today?
I believe Claudia is actually the contact person. We will send
In
out.
the email that we sent, right?
Yeah, we'll send out the contacts again of Claudia. So if anybody's interested in knowing more about the products, then they can contact Claudia directly.
Chef Kiko, there's also a question for you. In the stock, there's a huge piece of bacon. What do you do with this bacon afterwards?
You can do the same thing as I did it here. You take out the bacon, you dry a little bit. You do the same thing as I was doing here. You take out the bacon, you dry a little bit, and then you slice. Nothing from here should go away, okay? Even maybe it was a little bit shocking for a lot of people that I put some skin of the onion, but even these onions, I can take out and then I can use these onions, okay? But the much more flavor, I'll put it here, the much more vegetables, I can even put like carrots, the streaming of the carrots I can put over here. The much more things I put over here, the much more flavor this water has. And the water is what gives actually the flavor to the rice. I'm tasting this rice, and I would not serve this rice in a restaurant because I need this water to have more flavor. So I need to cook this water at least for 2 hours. So after 2 hours, by the osmosis, the water will capture the flavor of the chorizos, the onions, the garlic, all the aromatics. And then when this water is done, I will put this water cooking. But now, as it was a show cooking and I had to be fast, so I use the water. But actually, if I taste this water like this, there is a lack of flavor here because it actually needs to cook more and more and more. Okay, it's like whenever you make a stock, the much more time you let the things inside your stock cooking, the much more flavor this water will have.
Perfect. Great. Well, thank you. Thank you ever so much. Thank you
Thank you very much.
everything. And
It was cool.
herzlichen Dank for everybody who tuned in from Germany. Und vielleicht nächste Mal auch in Person. So yes, thank you. Schönen Tag und bis bald.
Obrigado. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Thank you.
Obrigada. Adeus.
Thank you. Bye bye. Adeus.
Thank you.
Senhor Kiko, deixou